What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers handled business and beat the Portland Trail Blazers, a game that they absolutely needed to win. And the Lakers are now in the ninth seed, which is huge, sitting at 22-22, tied with the Utah Jazz in ninth place. Right? They are now 3 games out of 6, 3.5 games out of 5th, and really need to make that push to get into the playoffs. Now, there is a lot of talk, a lot of speculation about a trade. And you would think after a win like this, right, even with all the trade talk and all the noise, right, usually when the Lakers win, as we've seen several times in the last couple weeks, right, the Lakers have been winning more games recently. They're happy. They're in high spirits, right? They might give the occasional oh yeah, we need to continue this. We need to be better, right? LeBron usually is having his press conference and he's kind of just mellow and just oh yeah, but this one was just so different. Something is going on with the Lakers. A lot of the speculation is that a trade is about to get done. Trade is finalized. That, several players, and we'll touch on those players in a moment, have been notified that they are gone, right? You saw LeBron James in his press conference kind of, talking about D'Lo, who had an impeccable game. I mean, he lit it up. And you had LeBron James up there talking about D'Lo in almost past tense, right? He's no longer on the day, oh man, yeah, he's a great player, shoots well, good luck to him and his future. It's well, what? He didn't go that far, but you get my point, right? It was just weird. And the mood was all weird. And then you even had Darvin Ham give his we don't need a trade. I'm good with the guys that we have, which he said right before everyone ended up getting traded, right? Said the exact same thing last season, right before we ended up trading for Rui and everyone else. So that was strange. But even more so, it's D'Lo is in interviews and sitting on the bench and he's literally in tears, right? And talking like a guy that is saying goodbye. All of his interviews seem like a guy that is on his way out and leaving. Rui Hachimura is all sad and depressed and just doesn't look like a happy cat. When do you ever not see Rui Hachimura smiling, for one? And then two, when do you ever see him do it throwing up the LA? Right? When do you ever see him not smiling, he's throwing up the LA? Even in a loss, he's usually if he sees the camera, throwing up the LA and smiling. And yet you had both of these guys look like they just got devastating news. And D'Lo's out here just pouring out his heart and his soul and everything. And could it be something else entirely? Maybe it's just an emotional moment. Maybe there was some, argument or something that we're just not aware of, or some talk or something. But again, why would everyone be just sad? Why would D'Lo and Rui be crying? D'Lo's literally on the bench crying, and Austin Reeves is trying to brighten him up, and D'Lo likes an image of him and Austin Reeves when they take a picture talking about brother and stuff, and just it just was weird, right? When do you see this stuff with this Lakers team, right? Even when things are bad, even when they were on a 4-game losing streak, you didn't see that. If D'Lo had some historic night, then maybe I'd be oh, it's no big deal. But everything just looked, feels, and seems entirely off. Now, look, if the Lakers trade D'Angelo Russell for Bruce Brown, I'm going to lose my mind, right? Unless it's for some huge Raptors haul where you're getting Bruce Brown, Gary Trent Jr., and a Yaka Pirtle or something. If it's just straight up Bruce Brown for D'Lo, I am going to lose. I mean, the Lakers would have to give up more regardless because they'd have to match salaries. So it wouldn't just be a D'Lo for Bruce Brown. It would be D'Lo and probably Jalen Hood-Schifino for Bruce Brown, because Bruce Brown's making $22 million, right? I don't see a path in which the Lakers get to Bruce Brown unless it is multiple players. It's Bruce Brown and something else. So maybe it's Bruce Brown and Gary Trent Jr. Maybe it's something along those lines. But even then, I really like Gary Trent Jr. I even like Bruce Brown as a player. He was signing with the Lakers. He was good to go. Lakers were signing him instead of Gabe Vincent until the Indiana Pacers came in and doubled what the Lakers were going to offer, literally. And it doesn't make sense. And I don't see Rob Pelinka making a lateral move. Like, I don't see Rob Pelinka trading D'Lo to go and get Bruce Brown, right? Bruce Brown is, again, solid player. I would be more than happy to welcome Bruce Brown if we got him in another way, right? But Bruce Brown doesn't make sense for D'Lo when D'Lo's been the better player. And that's just not Rob's MO, right? Like, and I know people look at, well, he traded for Russell Westbrook. Again, he didn't want to do that. He had a deal done for Buddy Hield, and then DeMar DeRozan himself said in an interview he thought the deal was done and he was headed to the Lakers. So Rob Pelinka had other plans. He was going to go get Buddy Hield and DeMar DeRozan. But then LeBron James and Anthony Davis had that meeting at AD's house for Russell Westbrook, and they go and tell Jeannie that they want him, and all of a sudden, boom, Rob Pelinka cancels the Keens deal, which they were furious over, and end up trading for Russell Westbrook. Outside of that, all the other moves he's made have been clear upgrades for the Lakers, have been clear things that, like, okay, this makes sense, right? They win a championship, he goes and gets pieces to upgrade the roster, and they probably win back-to-back if Anthony Davis doesn't get hurt. And then you look at the trade where he trades Russell Westbrook and gets the pieces to get us into the conference finals. I just don't see Rob Pelinka trading all this stuff to just go get Bruce Brown. It just doesn't add up to me. But if it's like a 3-team deal where because look, Trae Young, before I jump into the 3-team deal, Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks are in huge trouble. Trae Young has a concussion, and he is out indefinitely. Atlanta right now is the 10th seed, but they are only 1 game ahead of the Brooklyn Nets, and 2.5 games of the Raptors falling into the 12th seed. Trae Young may be out for a month for all we know, right? So it is very likely that Atlanta goes, all right, we're not going to have Trae Young for who knows how long. Might as well just do the deal. Let's trade Murray now. And then it would make sense that the Lakers, who offered D'Lo, Jalen Hood-Schifino, a first and whatever else, right, for DeJounte Murray, okay, well, now you could kind of lean towards, all right, like, hey, Lakers, let's get this done, right? We're ready to figure this out. Let's talk it through. And then they may have spent this whole day talking it through and then finally got the approval, finally got the okay, and they said, okay, ride this out. But here's the other thing. One, I don't think it'll be straight up for just DeJounte Murray because Rui Hachimura looked upset too. So I think 2 things. Either one, it's a big move and they're going to get like a DeJounte Murray and maybe a Clint Capella or DeJounte Murray and a Bogdanovich, something like that. And Rui is headed to Atlanta because, again, Rui looked upset. And D'Lo and Rui make too much to trade just for DeJounte Murray. So it'd have to be more, right? You're talking between D'Lo and Rui, talking like $32 million in salary, right? DeJounte Murray isn't making anything close to that right now. Now, his new contract will kick in, and even then, he's still not making anything close to that. He's only making $17 million this year. So you could trade D'Lo straight up for DeJounte Murray. Now, if you were to include Rui Hachimura and Jalen Hood-Schifino, well, now you could go get like, a DeJounte Murray and a Clint Capella, or, a DeJounte Murray and a Bogdanovich, or whatever, right? So I think it's that, or it's a 3-team deal because Atlanta, again, this is all just based on reports, so we don't know for sure, and things can always change, but according to the reports, Atlanta didn't want D'Lo. Now, maybe that changed because Trae Young is now out and hurt. So maybe they're looking at it as like, well, okay, if we trade Dejounte Murray, we should probably take D'Lo for at least now, and then we'll figure it out later. But the other alternative is maybe Bruce Brown is headed to Atlanta, right? Maybe it's a 3-team deal where Bruce Brown is headed to Atlanta, and maybe they're getting Bruce Brown and Rui Hachimura. And that is the approach that they're taking. And, because Bruce Brown may fit much better next to Trae Young, and it would be a team option. So they could rework the deal for him if they wanted to. And then, so maybe they're getting Rui and Bruce Brown, and then the Lakers get Dejounte Murray and Clint Capella, and then, the firsts and maybe like whatever else goes to the Toronto Raptors. Or maybe they're taking Rui Hachimura. Who knows, right? The other option is both Bruce Brown and Dejounte Murray are headed to the Lakers, and they're working on a 3-team deal. Maybe D'Lo in a first is going there or something like that, or a pick swap. And then maybe, Atlanta's getting the first along with the Rui deal and stuff like that, right? That could be an option as well. And you're getting Bruce Brown and Dejounte Murray, and that could literally be your backcourt, right? So I don't know. It's just something's off. Something is very strange. Something is a brew here, and it doesn't add up to me. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass a question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you think something's not right here? Do you think no? No. It's just it was weird, but it is what it is. I'm sure it's just they'll figure it out. Again, whatever it is, however you feel, love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me to enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.